Good morning. Well, some of us may be taking down our tree and getting ready for the new year. Others of us are still kind of living with that Christmas hangover, right? Maybe a cup of coffee by the tree while the little ones play by the fire with their new toys. But whatever mood you're in, we have an episode of What Women Binge today. It's a rewind episode with Bethany Joy Lenz, and her recent Christmas movie, she's been rated like the #1 Christmas queen, and a few of her movies have just been rated #1 on Hallmark. And her recent one, Christmas at the Biltmore, which is awesome, she talks about it in the podcast, which we did a few months ago. So maybe now's the time to rewind and hear it again. And if you're still in the Christmas mood, we had Christmas Queens last week, and we got a bunch of new stuff coming for you at 2024. So check it out, What Women Binge, and have a happy new year. Hey everybody, welcome to this week's What Women Binge. We're back. We have an in-studio guest today.
Yay, this is such a treat.
Yes, please welcome Charlotte. This is Charlotte Lenz. No, Bethany Joy Lenz is here with us today, you guys. We're so excited to have you.
Thank you.
You want to introduce your friend?
Yeah, I'm thrilled to be here too. Thank you for having me. This is Charlotte. She's my new puppy. She's 6 months old. I've had her for about 3 months. And she's grown exponentially.
She's like a big one.
Insanely.
But she's beautiful. Her
she's
coat
like 70
is so
pounds
pretty.
now. Wait, I'm going to grab a little toy for her.
Yeah.
You guys have all these
so
socks.
you know we gave you a pair of sockies, but if we want to give her a pair of sockies to play with. Come here, Charlotte. So here's the craziest thing. So you said she's Great Pyrenees, and I just discovered through the doggy DNA test that I did on my dog Sully, he was a rescue from Mississippi, and just discovered that he's a Pyrenees. Also, and now I can see why. Like, it's the hair, it's that thick coat of hair, but it's also like the eyebrow bone.
The eyebrows, yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah,
I never
she
knew
just wants something to, rip up.
Look at her.
Really.
There she goes. She's going to play with it.
Now I had to get one of those Amazon boxes that has the, it's like a package box for outside your house so that the guys can put the packages inside, because I would come home and there were like my FedEx envelopes that would come with like checks in the mail ripped up to shreds in the yard.
But
all
that's
my
like puppy
packages.
stuff, right? The
Total
chewy puppy stuff.
Total puppy stuff. But
I love I like getting dogs when they're about 6 to 12 months old, so that I can like maybe forego some of the chewy stuff.
Yeah.
But of course they always. And you know what my dogs always do? Always, all of my dogs without fail, if I leave town, they tear apart some kind of cushion. Their bed, outdoor cushions. They always tear something apart.
Have they ever done down? Have they ever like?
Yeah, oh yeah. Our outdoor sofa they did the last time we were gone during Christmas. Yeah.
Down is no joke to clean up.
Just the foam stuff, everything. Like their doggy beds are always gone. I always have to leave extra money with the dog sitter to be like, you're going to have to go buy a dog bed. Because they're just going to do it.
Mine used to do that. Would pull all the stuffing, not out of the sides, but just the bottom of the dog bed. I'm like, do you not
try to
like
shove
that?
So I make them sleep on it. I'm like, you have to still sleep on it. Like,
they would just flip it over. And
I leave it for like a month. I'm like, I'll shove that back in and like roll it over, but you're still going to lay on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. My sewing machine has come in handy so many times. I get up there.
Staple gun.
Yeah.
I just use a staple gun.
It's a staple gun. Oh, my gosh.
Kind of just staple it back together.
Yeah. If you chew on it this time, you'll get a nice surprise. That'll teach you.
So, oh my gosh, let's talk real quick about some of your projects. Oh my gosh. For people that don't know, you have a huge list of credits. One of the ones that I've always wanted to watch that I haven't gotten to watch yet is Dexter.
Oh, yes.
Did people
gotta
talk
watch
to you?
Dexter.
I know. Everybody tells me that, and it's like literally, have I not mentioned that like every episode?
yes, you have.
Someday I have to watch Dexter because I keep hearing it's going to be.
Even I have watched Dexter, and I can handle Dexter. You can handle Dexter.
Yeah.
Amanda is a baby when it comes to
I'm not a baby. I'm sensitive.
I am too. I
can't watch those things. But Dexter, I think it's because he means well. Like he's trying to do good.
He means well. I mean,
is that not right? Can justify it.
He's a vigilante, right?
Yes.
Like he's a serial
killing
killer.
bad
He
people.
kills serial killers.
And
yeah, that's a good deed.
Yeah, and it's not so graphic because it was made for television, really.
Network
more than,
television.
Yeah. More than like, so it's not super gory. Like
It was a network television. No, Showtime was always. It was always
Showtime.
It's definitely gory. I'm not going to lie to you.
I know. Well, maybe the
if she
episodes
can
I
handle
watched
it,
were not
though.
that bad. There was a lot of blood, but
There were
was about
some
it.
moments I had to shut my eyes. There were,
Really?
yeah. There was a couple like in the flashback stuff when he was a kid that I was like,
Oh,
Yeah, no, I didn't
really?
see any of those.
Oh, stop chewing on my toe.
Oh.
This kid.
Those are not your socks, Charlotte. Those are your socks.
Yeah, but I loved that show, and I was super excited when I got to go do it too, because I just was, I don't know. I mean, I had just gotten off of One Tree Hill, and it was kind of a dead time for me in the industry, because when you're on a popular show for a long time, when the show ends, you're not like new news anymore.
Right.
So everybody's kind of like, yeah, I mean, you had your run. Like, give somebody else a chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, I still want a chance.
Yeah.
So I was really excited when I got Dexter. I was like, okay, I still got it. I'm still in the game.
Yeah,
And I had so much fun.
And One Tree Hill is what I mean. Like,
That's where
you
I
had a
know
little.
you.
You had a little fan club
Uh-huh.
outside the studio today because of One Tree Hill.
Sweet.
How many seasons was that?
10.
Holy macaroni!
Long time. I know.
So
How long was Sabrina?
7.
Yeah, I mean, it's still
7 seasons.
really,
Yeah,
nobody
it's
does
like
that anymore.
it's long. You know, people talk about high school the rest of their lives, and that's only 4 years. So
Yeah.
if you think about like doubling that, or
Absolutely.
it's kind of crazy. So I have a funny. So I'm wearing a Breckenridge sweatshirt today. We just went to Breckenridge on a little family ski trip.
Sweet.
And what's hilarious is my husband. There is a hotel there called One Ski Hill, and he swears, even though he's never seen One Tree Hill, he swears it's named after One Tree Hill. And I'm like, I don't think the people of Breckenridge, when they were designing the city, thought about this hotel being named after what. He's like, no, I guarantee you it was some kids that watched the show that I'm like, I don't think like the
Did we find
stoners
out
that.
when it was built?
So he found out that something was renamed.
Okay.
But it was renamed, but like it's still number 1 and the street is Ski Hill. So I mean, I'm like,
the street is Ski Hill. The show was named after a very popular U2 song, so also
okay, so
perhaps named after that.
it goes back way back. In
Yeah, but
the
that's
zeitgeist.
fun.
Yeah,
I didn't know that it was named after you two.
He literally got into
Learn
a fight with
something
me
new.
for like 2 days over this.
He was
like, I
willing to
guarantee
die
you. I'm
on
like,
one ski hill.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking?
If these are your fights, it sounds like a great marriage to
It's
me.
fun. It can be fun. We fight about sausage. No, we don't. But so One Tree Hill, so Dexter. Oh my gosh, your list is like incredible. But we met at the Christmas con.
Hallmark, baby.
Christmas card, Christmas movies.
Yeah. Yeah, Christmas movies. It's the way to go.
You've done how many of those now?
I don't know Christmas-wise. I think I've maybe done 4 or 5 Christmas, maybe 5. But then I think
bunch.
maybe 9 overall. I don't know. I lost count. It's at some point.
Well, you guys
you
are
just lose count with those.
racking them up. But I mean,
You
people
do
love
lose
them.
count because you
Yeah.
do like 2. Do you do like 2 a year? One Christmas, one non-Christmas.
Sometimes, and then sometimes not at all, and then sometimes it's 1 a year.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it's 1 for 3 a year, but once for the next season.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get you.
I don't know, but it's always fun, and I'm so glad that we got to know each other this time.
I know. I didn't know you were living in Nashville. We got stuck at I convinced you to get on the wrong plane. It was awesome. You want to tell that story?
Oh my gosh. Wait, you know what's crazy though? I was like, you know what? I want to fly back with you guys. It was you, me, and Jesse Hutch. And I was like, oh, you know what? It would be nice to fly with you guys. We should do that. And I had a ticket booked on a flight that was later, but I decided to take the earlier flight.
Because we were like, go with us. You'll get in early.
Yes.
It'll be nice.
So we went to the airport with them early. We got our tickets all switched
We had a
out.
drink. We were
I
getting
think Jesse
deep.
even signed up for Clear. You know, it
Yes,
was like,
yes.
man, it was like a real.
We were racing through security together, and then I think there was some tears shed over drinks as we waited in the airport, and then we realized,
And then we kept waiting.
we kept waiting,
And then we kept waiting.
and we had another drink,
And then my original flight took off.
Without
And
you.
we kept
And
waiting.
we kept waiting.
And then my original flight landed. And we kept waiting. And we didn't leave that airport until.
I felt so guilty. I was like, of course.
Really?
Me and Jesse are like, get on our plane. Come on, go talk to them. Like, go to the desk. Go. Come on, you got to get on our. Like, just get in earlier.
Was it the
and then,
same
of course,
airline?
Like,
Same airline.
Yeah.
It was the same airline.
yeah,
Yes.
kind of crazy.
It was indeed.
I felt bad, but we got to bond. I got to know
Yes,
Jesse.
yeah.
and you.
I thought you and Jesse kind of knew each other already.
No, but you and
really?
Jesse have done a few movies together, right?
No, none at all.
Oh, I thought you guys had done some.
Nope. Met him at Christmas Con last year. I make
that's
all my friends at Christmas
hilarious.
Con.
It's a good place to make friends.
It is. Well, he and his wife and kids moved out to Nashville as well. So I think that was because I was thinking about moving at the time.
So how long have you been in Nashville?
6 months, 7 months.
Okay. Oh, you're very.
Oh, no,
new.
wait a second. Hang on now. I moved in June. I'm terrible with time estimation and management. Yeah, so since June. So I guess almost a year, maybe like 9 months.
Okay.
But I love it. I'm loving it. It's great. How about you? You guys have been here for a while.
We've been
right?
here like 2.5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
I've been
what
here
about
forever.
you?
I moved here in 2006.
Oh, okay.
I was
She's a
Nashville
Bama
before
girl.
It was cool.
Nashville
Before it was
always
Nash
cool,
Vegas.
baby.
It was always cool.
When did they start calling it Nash Vegas? Is that
Forever. It was
That was a
Vegas
long-
before I lived here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. The Bachelorettes just made it more
I mean, number one.
California now.
for real.
Yeah.
But you know what? I kind of like it. I feel like I've gotten so many like good friends out of the great exodus So I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
The traffic was already bad before you all got
Traffic
here.
is terrible here. It's like LA. It's weird. And the potholes?
I don't think it's quite as bad
what's up
as
with the
LA.
potholes?
Oh, that...
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, why
They're
can't
bad,
we-
though.
I guess
Visit
we
a
don't
city
wanna-
council meeting and find out.
Some of them need their own zip codes. They're like...
They're huge. I saw it. Yeah,
soluble.
there was like a sinkhole on the way to school one day. I was like, well, that's insane. Yeah, there was like a huge.
Welcome
I was
to the
like, don't
South.
drive in that hole. It was insane.
Usually
You would've
Nashville's
lost a
pretty good
tire.
about like filling them in quickly, but they're not so great about like just repairing the whole road. Like there are roads that I think are just giant patches now. That's all they are.
I think because the traffic's so bad, they can't possibly close down. It's like LA. Like, how are you going to close down
Yeah.
405 and fix it? You can't. Like,
can't do it.
you're going to do that. Remember, what was it? What was it called? Something Geddon? Not Armageddon. When they closed down the 405 to like add a lane on or something, and then what did they call it? Carmageddon. It was Carmageddon. Right. They shut it down for 2 days. So Southwest started doing flights.
Oh, Southwest.
From Long Beach to Burbank, so people could get to work.
Stop it right now. I
they
did
started
not
these
know
little
that.
like 10-minute flights.
That's
back
amazing.
and forth to get shuttle people.
Wow.
And I was like,
So
please
you could
always
commute
do that.
by plane.
You could get there by plane.
Wow.
Because you couldn't get there by car, even though it was a 40-minute drive.
There by airplane.
It was crazy. I mean, it was kind of a cool idea. I think they need to do that a little more often, to be honest.
That
But-
is awesome.
So let's talk about binging because that's what we're here for. What are you into right now? Like, what is your number one
I'll
show?
tell you what I binge. Oh, I didn't know it was shows.
but it
I thought
doesn't
it was
matter.
just like
No, anything.
Anything.
Because shows, I think the last one I watched all the way through was The Offer, and I consistently watch Friends.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a good.
That's
Yeah, you always want to hear pivot.
I know,
Just
Pivot
good stuff.
and Frasier. But I truly and have my whole life binged murder mysteries books. It's
Really?
almost exclusively
Like what? Like Agatha Christie?
Agatha Christie. Right now, I love Ruth Ware. I love. Oh my goodness, what's her name? Lucy Foley.
Oh.
And yeah,
The last thing you told me. Mm-hmm. Now they're making a movie.
Oh, really?
Jennifer Garner's in it.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know.
Yeah, and Paula Hawkins, and she wrote Girl on the Train, and then the one that wrote The Window, the woman in the window.
Did you do The Paris Apartment?
Oh yeah, I've read all those.
I have all these books lined
binge
up
them,
on
like
my-
legitimately
Yeah.
binge.
Paris Apartment took me like a minute. The last thing you told me, I was through in like 3 hours.
What
I
about
couldn't
Slow
put it down.
Burning Fire? Did you?
I haven't read that
yet?
one.
Yeah, it's
Is it good?
It's really good.
So what of the Agatha Christie's? Because I've never read an Agatha Christie, but I've been interested in it recently.
Agatha Christie, I haven't. That was like when I was in high school. I think that's actually what kicked me off on it because we were assigned. I think in class we were assigned to read the 12. I want to call it 12 Angry Men, but it's not. It's the 10 Little Indians.
Yes.
And I loved it, and I fell in love with murder mysteries and just kept reading them from that point forward. So I read a lot of hers, but I don't.
So do you go dark, like Stephen King dark, or do you like stay towards the
Do you
fluff?
know I have read one Stephen King book in my whole life, and it was some obscure like
Was it Bag of
pulp.
Bones?
No, it was like a pulp
like Bag of
novel that
Bones.
ended without resolving the.
Oh, really?
You didn't find out the solution, and I was real pissed, and so I never picked up another Stephen King
We're
book.
all good people here. Have you read this one yet?
No.
Okay, well, spare yourself until the sequel comes out because you will be so angry. It's a great murder mystery, like fabulous, unbelievable detail and twists and turns, but the ending is so unsatisfactory because I need to know
Okay,
more.
so hopefully there's a sequel.
There's supposedly one, but it might be, who knows?
This reminds me of, which did have a resolution, but it was honestly one of the best books I've read and murder mysteries. It's called We Are All the Same in the Dark.
Yes!
Did you read this?
Yes!
Oh,
I don't
how about
know this.
It's
How do you guys
so
have so
good.
much time to read? I'm like,
Well, you know what's great about the murder mysteries is I have ADHD like bad. So what's great about a murder mystery is the constant you're solving a problem which
Yes.
hits that thing in your brain that wants
Dopamine.
the dopamine hit.
Ah.
And then when you actually do solve the problem or you feel like you've gotten somewhere, you get that hit again.
It's so good.
it's instant low-hanging fruit. Instant
so did you listen to the Serial podcast about Adnan
I did
Syed?
the first season I did.
See, now that I found totally unsatisfying. Like, I love
Ditto.
that I know the story, and especially since it's a current story, I mean, very current. But that one, when it ended, I was like, "Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What was it, like 10 hours?" And I was like,
Yeah.
I was so hooked, and I was like, I want to know.
See, I can't do the true crime podcast and things like that, but like I love the books, mostly because I can ingest as much as I can handle. And if I need to put it down and step away, or if I need to skip a few pages, it's totally fine.
Well, you know it's not real.
And right.
Like the true crime stuff is like, then I have to think about how awful the world is.
But I'm not ingesting it visually, so it feels separate.
So wait, so Joy, have you done, do you do true crime movies though?
No.
No, you won't do them, or you just haven't been?
No, I just haven't. It's just not interesting to me.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Are you really into them?
I'm not really into them. Not like other people. No, for sure not. But I do find them intriguing. If it's an original story.
Dying under your hoard.
I loved being a hoarder last year and Dirty Little Secrets.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. But that's not even crime, really. That's just like,
well, kind of, because
looking in the inside of someone's brain.
Your house down on top of you.
Yeah. Thanks for spoiler alert.
I mean, it's been a year.
Seen Dirty Little
We've
Secrets.
had time.
I know.
Oh.
But it was fun. It was fun to play that role was really fun just because I got to really dig into some, like, I worked with psychologists on like what this would mean and what this would be, and, what would set you off to be a hoarder, and what would make you want to continue that path.
Oh, you asked me if I don't do them, like act in them.
No, act in them.
Oh, I thought you were like, I was like, no, I don't do that. Like, I don't do dairy.
Oh, no. No, are you in them?
No. Well, the answer is still no, but not for lack of interest. I just never came up. That's funny. But that must have been really interesting because there's so much research involved in it.
It was interesting. It was the first time, first of all, it was the first time I got a job in a long time where I didn't have to be ready the next week. So I had a little time to prepare. Good. I got to work with an acting coach. I worked with a movement specialist. I worked with a psychologist, friend of ours, who sort of gave me what hoarding behavior is like, and why you might do that. The movie, the only thing that kind of I didn't love about it was that we sort of threw in all hoarding behavior into this one character, as opposed to like the one thing that might set this person off versus one thing. It was like she had like 5 different hoarding behaviors.
Okay,
but it was really interesting because. And then just like being on set, people were like, wow, I think my daughter might be, or I think my wife, or I think that, my mother has tendencies like this. And I'm like, yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. So it was crazy. But I like doing that. But but I haven't really, I can't say I've done like a murder one yet, a true crime murder. Like that wasn't really.
Clearly I haven't.
You haven't, Amanda?
No.
Do you want to be in a true crime movie?
Probably not.
Yeah. How would you handle the gore in a movie if you were in it?
You'd be fine. You'd be fine because they would show you it's like the squibs.
Yeah.
I can't even do a haunted house though. Like
no, but this is different.
I'm that person.
This is you're having to be the person doing it instead of like being an observer of it.
Like I think I'd be fascinated by like the creation of it, and they're like, oh look, here's all the guts in a bucket. And I'd be like, cool. I
could imagine Amanda not stopping laughing. Like when she figures out how it works, I think she'd be like, yeah, no, this is stupid.
Maybe. But having to act, you have to like go there emotionally. Maybe y'all don't. I would imagine. I'm not an actress, so I don't know. But like, I have a feeling that if I had to go to that place and like react to it,
there is a little with certain. I can't imagine what it was like on Dexter.
Dexter was. I was in 4 hours of prosthetics at one point, and I mean, spoiler alert. It's been long enough. I was killed, and we had a shooting day where I was laying in a pool of blood on the floor, but the blood had to be totally placid because of the camera shots were all about the reflections in the blood.
Oh, okay.
So I couldn't like get up and down and like I had to stay completely.
Was it syrup?
Still. It was a syrup, yeah. And with all these prosthetics on my face and like lay in this blood for, I think it was like 6 or 7 hours.
So do you go?
And I had a lunch break.
Fall asleep?
I did. I didn't fall asleep, but I did go. I learned a lot about myself in that moment because I'm not still by nature.
Oh no, me neither. Do you do yoga?
I don't. No, I hate yoga.
I hate yoga.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
God, no. Pilates I love.
Yeah, because it's constant movement.
Right. No, yoga, the repetition just drives me bananas.
I relate so much to that.
I do too.
But I did learn to just be. I went to a place of stillness, and it was peace. It wasn't like I wasn't itchy to get up and move around. I think I don't know. You know how you feel when you're sick and you just don't want to get up and move?
Yeah.
I think I just kind of that's one of the great gifts of being an actor. If you really know how to do it, you can trick your mind and your emotions and your body into believing something that's not true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was like, okay, I'm just,
this is my choice.
Yeah.
Like, but after something like that, re-entry into real life is so, like, I notice now when I come back from productions, I'm so short with my husband. Like, I have no, like, I'm for 2 or 3 days, I'm just sort of in an emotional wreck. Like,
yeah, me too.
Like I'm coming down from something.
It's also, honestly, it's all about you when you're on set. It's not about the kids. It's not about your husband. It's not about anybody else. It's all, it's all about me. It's all about you. So it is hard to come back into life. And I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that. Like, it's just part of how it is. It's
I would say
weird.
re-entry's hard.
Yeah. I think I heard Bono's wife makes him stay in a hotel for a week when he comes off tour.
That's pretty smart.
I hope my husband doesn't do that. I want him to go stay in a hotel for a week. I want to go home.
My bed.
I've been gone. I need a hotel. I need
You need a break, sir.
Yeah.
Get out.
You get out. You get out. You don't like my attitude? Get out. That's probably what I'm sure I've said that before, actually, to be honest.
That's so funny.
All right, so murder mysteries. What else? Are you into like podcast? Oh, wait. So do you like the movies from these? Like, I just recently watched Death on the Nile.
Yeah.
I did not like
that one. No.
But like, what about like Glass Onion? Or have you seen any of these?
I liked Glass Onion. It was fun.
I really did too.
I loved Woman in the Window and Girl on the Train and Gone Girl. My goodness. Yes.
So you love the movies?
Love all the movies.
Did you see the menu?
Part. I did see the menu.
So that's my favorite one right now.
I am interested to talk with you about the menu.
Okay. Let's talk.
Why? Did you see this?
I have not.
I think you could
at will because I'm not sure.
handle it. It's not gory. There's just like 2 things that happen that are brutal, but not in a blood.
You think I could handle it?
Yes,
okay.
I do.
What's the point of that movie to you?
But yes, spoil it all you want because I.
Just to be as twisted as possible, maybe just to see what someone would do if he was at the end of his rope to like.
This is the one you told me about that you said is like
it's an incredible
Saw,
cast,
but it's like in a restaurant on an island.
I called it like Saw, even though it's really not. But it's like because it's twisted because you're trying to figure out why are they do what's the motive behind it, right?
Yeah.
But you realize that like. Without spoiling, I think we just have to spoil it. So I think that it's an incredible cast. It's the one that has Anna Taylor-Joy and Nicholas Hoult, who's like my favorite.
I love him. Oh, The Great is one of my favorite shows right now.
So
I love that.
I hope they have another
season 3.
soon.
They just announced
it's coming.
Did
they? It's coming.
Yes.
I'm also excited to see Pink Ladies and what starts next week? Something starts next week. Back to the menu. Nicholas Hoult, Judith Light's in it. John Leguizamo and Ray Fiennes is the chef. And so the chef, like you go on the boat and you go over to the island and you're in this restaurant and it's the menu's already set and it's like super exclusive. Some of these people have been there before. Some are celebrity of some sort, right? And
food critic.
Yeah, food critic. And they each bring a date or maybe 2. Is there a family there? I can't remember. Is there a kid? There's not a kid.
No, there's no kid. But there's a group of guys that are like hedge fund guys.
Oh, yeah.
It's all these sort of very carefully selected people. But then there's one person who like switches up the date at the last minute. And Ray Fiennes and his whole staff kind of freak out because they're like, you're not supposed to be here.
You're not supposed to be here. And they keep pulling her aside. You're not supposed to be here. You sure you want to be here? You can decide. There's a boat. And then they try to call for help when they realize there's shenanigans going on. There's a little bit of bloodshed. There's the one when they pull the curtain on the kitchen. They pull a plastic curtain on the kitchen,
really
and this guy like presents his entree or his appetizer.
But here's what the first time I watched it, I was like, this is so insipid and bougie, like some stupid Hollywood executive sitting, some guy like, I'm gonna write like a food critic horror movie. I just could not. And then I had a thought about it, but I'm curious, like, did you feel any, like, were there any metaphors in it for you, or you just were like, this is just like a elevated horror movie?
I thought it was. I mean, I liked the bougie aspect of it, like within itself. I liked that, like the exclusivity. It just sort of, it's hard these days with technology to put people in a situation where they're on an island and there's no escape.
Yeah,
I think that's a hard way into a story these days, and I think this was a great way to do it. Sort of like to have control over their technology, to have control over where they are, the setting, and whatnot. So I think that those are sort of hard to come by in stories. So I guess I chalked it up to that in a way.
Yeah, it's appealing.
Yeah, but then the just well acted, and like that to me was everything.
So this is just like Sweeney Todd on an island, right?
You know what? That's not a bad That's
I actually
not a
don't know
bad
Sweeney
analogy
Todd.
for it.
I'll
bridge the gap. I'm the musical theater girl here. So.
Oh, yes, you are. Did you play Belle? You played Belle, didn't you?
I actually was offered Belle in Beauty and the Beast on Broadway, and I auditioned, and I was like, I won that part, and then had some crazy personal stuff happening, and I just I didn't end up taking the part. Unfortunately, it's like a huge regret. But
I'm jealous
truth is
because
my
I
daughter
auditioned and I
wouldn't-
didn't get it.
Oh no, my daughter wouldn't exist if I had taken that part. So it's okay. Yeah, it's a bit Sweeney Todd. I think not that we want to be on the menu forever, but
Wait, tell me what Sweeney Todd real quick. Give me the one log line.
It's
the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Yes.
Oh,
and
yes.
Yeah, and then they make pies. And
Yes, that's right. Okay. Okay. They don't actually make food out of the people in this, but they do.
Oh, okay. That's
it's
kind
just
of where
sort
I
of
thought
a
it was
torture.
going.
It's sort of a torture.
You wonder if that's where it's going.
It's a Hail Mary pass
Somebody
at a
else
last.
that I was talking to about this said it's the 7 deadly sins, which I hadn't thought about. But if you look at all the tables,
Yes.
like glutton, greed,
Yeah.
sloth, all those things,
Lust,
pride,
yeah.
So that was interesting the way that was all represented.
That's interesting.
But what
Is there 7 tables? Do we know?
Don't know. I didn't count. Now I want to go back and count.
I wonder if the brain can tell us if there's 7 tables in the menu.
Brain, can you tell us how many?
The brain.
Are in the menu?
But
Yeah, what else?
But one of the things that I was having a conversation with a friend about just slow burn in society and how whether it's society or a cults or any sort of group, you get you don't just launch into something that nobody agrees with. It all is a really slow burn. Mm-hmm. And it was so interesting to me, and maybe it's just because the timing of it with, I feel like we're kind of in a place in society right now where I see some of this happening, which we don't have to go into. But I thought it was really interesting to watch a group of people who all could have absolutely done something if they had all
Work together.
Yeah. But
that's the thing. Nobody tries to work together.
The numbing of everyone. It was a slow numb to the point where everybody just slowly laid down. It was like a slow frog in boiling water.
It's true.
thing.
It's true. That's interesting. And I was thinking that too the whole time. Why don't you all there's more of you than him.
Yeah. But that's not how it works. That's not how mind control works or brainwashing.
Yeah.
So there's 6 tables, and then the kitchen is the 7th.
Oh, interesting. Could be. Okay.
Which maybe is
you have
gluttony.
some magic? Where did you see that?
Her ear.
Oh, you have an earpiece. That's right.
That's the brain. The brain is in her ear.
I was like, where's the ticker tape? What I was looking for that.
Hey, Amanda, did you know that 60% of our bodies are made out of water?
I did know that.
So if you're like me, you probably don't trust your tap water, and you might want to find another solution. And you know what that is?
What is it?
It's AquaTrue.
Oh.
Having safe, clean water is the last thing you want to worry about. But unfortunately, according to extensive research by the Environmental Working Group, 3 out of 4 homes in America have harmful contaminants in its tap water.
And we obviously want our kids to grow up strong and healthy.
Yes, and being hydrated is super important to me.
Especially in these hot months here.
Yeah, we're still in a heat wave here, and we got a few more ahead of us. And I mean, you want the kids to be healthy. You want to stay hydrated. I work out a lot. You work out a lot. We sweat a lot. You want to stay hydrated, and it's super important. That's why you got to check out AquaTrue. AquaTrue purifiers use a 4-stage reverse osmosis purification process, and their countertop purifiers work with no installation or plumbing.
They have water purifiers to fit every type of home, from installation-free, like you said, countertop purifiers to higher capacity under sink options. They even have a Wi-Fi connected purifier with a mineral boost option.
Yeah, AquaTrue removes 15 times more contaminants than ordinary pitcher filters and are specifically designed to combat chemicals like PFAS in your water supply.
That's so interesting. And the filters are affordable. They last a long time. There's no changing them every 2 to 3 months. The AquaTrue filters last from 6 months to 2 years.
That's a good amount of time. I love that. Just one set of filters from their classic purifier makes the equivalent of 4,500 bottles of water. That's less than 3 cents a bottle. Plus, you'll save the environment from tons of plastic waste, which I love.
Yes, I do.
Well, AquaTrue comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee and even makes a great gift. So today, our listeners will receive 20% off any AquaTrue purifier. Just go to aquatrue.com. That's AQUATRU.com and enter code WWB at checkout.
That's right. 20% off any AquaTrue water purifier when you go to aquatrue.com and use the code WWB.
Thank you, AquaTrue, for being a sponsor of What Women Binge.
Anyway, but yeah, I got a new appreciation for the menu after that. But I do.
Did you see Triangle of Sadness?
Not yet. It's on my list.
So I think the menu's a better version of it.
Okay.
I think what you don't like.
No, I won't do it. She keeps
By the
trying
way,
to get me to watch it.
it's nominated for an Oscar. We talked about it, I think, last week.
I know, but
I was like, that movie was awful. I mean, it could have been great if it was an hour shorter, and if they had taken out the fact that this guy just leaves his hot girlfriend to go sleep with. I don't know. It was very strange.
I'm in a triangle of sadness that it's.
I feel like you need to watch it just to have an opinion on it, but it's one of those one and done. You don't need to see it again. Like the menu, I kind of want to watch again, especially now with that information you just gave us.
Yeah, I want to watch it again too. Now that I was thinking about it that way.
But Triangle of Sadness was, I think, a bad version of what the menu turned. Like the menu was able to be concise and have some of those points where Triangle of Sadness just felt pointless. Like, what am I doing? I just wasted my time.
Are you into murder mystery books and things like that too? Or do you what do you read?
Anything, mainly just fiction, but not necessarily murder. More right now, it's been like historical fiction, really.
Oh, okay.
I like some historical fiction. I'm still on Codename Helene, believe it or not. But in the car, I do a lot of.
Finish it.
I know, but I haven't picked it up. I'm planning it for spring break.
Name Helene.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's like this badass woman spy in World War II.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all about her red lips. Her red lipstick represents the world.
On your list of questions was what time period would you go back to? And it's totally the 40s.
Yeah,
like right when the war ends.
Well, speaking of the 40s,
did
you just do a movie in the set in the 40s?
I did a movie called Biltmore Christmas. It's coming out Christmas this year. So we have a long way to wait, but it'll go by fast.
It'll be worth it.
I'm so jealous. I got to shoot at the Biltmore in the 40s in period piece. Like I am dying. I'm dying.
I was too.
Like, why didn't you ask me to be your assistant or help with craft service or just hold your script? I'll be your script book.
My inner sci-fi nerd needs to know, did you really shoot with Jonathan Frakes?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
and he is a dream. I just adore him. That reminds me, I have to send him something in the mail.
My firstborn is Riker after his character in Star Trek. Yes.
Oh, that's him?
Yes, that is number one.
I love it. Have you seen the new show too, Picard? Are you watching it? Yeah.
I love Picard.
It looks great. I can't wait to start.
Every week.
It's so good.
That's awesome. You're a sci-fi nerd then?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen Equilibrium with Christian Bale and Taye Diggs?
No.
Put that on your list.
So are you a sci-fi nerd then too?
I am indeed.
Oh.
But I never watched Star Trek.
Sci-fi, anything like that, I'm so in.
That's so funny.
So yeah.
I love it.
I'm a fan.
We had Timeless was my probably one time travel show. Although I still need to watch Outlander.
Yeah, you
guys,
do.
I have a lot. I have to finish Codename Helene. I have to watch Outlander and Dexter. These are like
Dexter.
I have to.
But when do you have time?
Well, and there's always new stuff to report on, right?
And you're creating things, and you're a mom and a wife and a friend, and we have to have a life too.
It's true.
I know. Well, you're like, let's go to coffee. I'm like, no, come on my podcast. Yes, coffee, but wait, come on my podcast
coffee.
first. Like, this is how I
drink
get my
coffee
girl
and talk
time
at the same time.
Yeah, totally. Wait, tell us about. So you got to see. So Jesus Revolution. We were both supposed to be at the premiere.
Yes.
I go running in, and I am like, my husband is sweating to death in the car because he overdosed on L-carnitine, a supplement. He accidentally took too much, and he was. I mean, when I say he was sweating, it was the most obscene amount. Like he looked like he just came out of the shower every 10 minutes. And he had to keep drying off. He changed his clothes 3 times. We drove down 40 minutes to the premiere. Yeah, it was just. At first he felt fine. It was just weird. We're like, "Are you okay?"
I just saw you running out. Like I was going into the theater to start the movie, and you were running. I was like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "Yeah, I got to go home and take care of."
I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't be." Like it was you. Jesse Hutch was there. The Irwin brothers. Our friend Anna did the wardrobe. We're actually going to have her come on and talk about the movie at some point. But that was a cool 70s piece. Speaking of period pieces, but
I loved
what did you think on Jesus Revolution?
I loved that.
It was a good movie.
Great movie. Yeah, I told Andy this too. Afterwards, I was like, Christian movies always make me. I'm a little waiting for the cringe. When is it coming? Here it comes.
You said you were allergic to them when we saw you.
That's a great.
I'm usually allergic to Christian films, but this one was good.
Yeah, it's true. I am
I'm gonna
a Christian.
Use that, by the way. Can I take that?
Yes, totally. I'm sure I stole allergic from somebody else. I did. My friend Mireille, from The Killing, another show that you should watch. Okay. She says that stuff. She's like, I'm allergic. I was like, that's so great. I'm stealing that. Hi, Mireille. What was I talking about? Oh, Jesus Revolution. Squirrel. Yeah, it was great. And that's what I told Andy. I was like, you guys managed to sidestep every moment that I thought I was going to cringe. You sidestepped it. And you'd really just made a legitimately good movie about something that happened in in American history. And there's no reason why anybody shouldn't be interested in a piece of American history.
I think it was a great movie.
It's fascinating.
I agree. It was, and right when you thought like, so spoiler alert, but
that's a true
young
story.
pastor. Yeah, the young pastor.
I feel like that's the name of this episode is spoiler alert.
Yeah. Our whole episode is. I just like to preface it with in case people are like, wait, I was gonna. But so with it, I felt like you have the older pastor Kelsey Grammer, whose church is sort of dying out, and then you have the younger pastor.
Sidebar: Kelsey Grammer has the softest hands of anyone I've ever met.
Oh,
random fact.
I mean, I love him, so that's a great.
I shook his hand at a party, and I just was like, what do you? I don't understand.
What are you more
how you
so
do
funny.
this? Anyway, continue.
You're like, can
Sorry.
I get some of that hand cream? Maybe he wears little socks to bed and
I bet he
does
does
a little Aquaphor treatment or something.
I need the secret, Kelsey.
So he's playing the older pastor whose church is sort of like empty and gray and old, older congregation. And then here comes the younger sort of, he looks like Jesus. The younger pastor kind of comes in, moves in, and Kelsey's character allows the hippies to move into the church and sort of, because they seem like lost souls and they're going to preach them. But the younger pastor, can't remember his name right now.
Lonnie Frisbee.
Yeah, Frisbee.
Yeah.
He ends up, what I liked was he gets a little full of himself and they call him on it. Like, you start to see it and you start to see how they played it really well where it was subtle enough. I didn't think they were going to address it.
Yeah.
And then they address it, that he was making it about himself.
I'm so glad they did too, because when I started, that was the biggest moment I was worried about with the cringe factor is when I started seeing everybody living in the same house together and they're painting on the walls and they're being all like, in the same place. And I was like, this is so culty.
Yeah.
Like, this looks exactly the same as any cult. Like, are we flagging this? What's going on?
Very peace and love, but without the true conflict that comes with that.
That's the thing. And what was so great about it is that if you, in a real cult, which there were a lot of in the hippie era too.
Apparently there were a lot around here because we have friends that were raised in a few of them.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
That we were watching this. I was watching this movie with a few people that were raised in cults and they were having a little flashback moment.
Yeah. I have been in one. And so I definitely was having a triggering cringe moment. But what I was great about watching it that way was to see the difference is the fruit of what comes out when you're in a controlled environment like that where someone else is controlling your behavior and it's all like from the top down, it's all about one person's ego. You don't get the community, like the true accountability of like friendship and freedom that I feel like we saw in that movie when the community was like not willing to let his ego be the centric thing. And then even Joel Courtney's character Greg, we had a relationship with his mother that was full of friction, and he was still so generous and kind with her, on the phone. And I just thought those are things that they're little details, but if you're in something unhealthy, those things don't manifest. It comes out and you isolate from your family. You don't connect with people. There's so much tension, and I loved the way that they actually you got to see how when you're living with the Holy Spirit, there's a flow and a freedom with people to make the choices that they want to make, and you're just living in community, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
that's
brilliant.
There was accountability, not what is the word I'm looking for? It wasn't
codependent. It was like there was an interdependence in friendship, but not controlled.
His mom was played by Kimberly Williams Paisley.
Beautifully.
Yeah, she did a good job.
And my God, that platinum blonde on her, she really was just devastating. It was so beautiful.
I know. And that's the thing. The whole movie I said was just gorgeous. The cinematography I thought was the wardrobe that our friend Anna did. It was like beautiful to the eye. It was a great story, and I really enjoyed it. So I wish I had seen it in the big screen with you, but my husband was sweating profusely in the car, and I had to get him home. So
my gosh.
And I think Andy was like, "Do you want to go to the hospital? Do you want to take him to the hospital?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm just gonna take him home and see what happens here." He took enough for 4 people.
Hospital schmospital.
L-carnitine, which is just it's just like a fat burner or something. So. It came in a free sample of something that he bought for me. He bought me some collagen and a free sample, and he drank the whole thing. He drank the whole thing. It was like a little bottle, and he drank the whole thing. But he didn't have his glasses on to read that it said one serving instead of one bottle. Like he thought it was like one bottle, but it was like 4 servings in one bottle or something. Yeah. He just read it wrong. He won't do that again.
Probably would have done the same thing, actually.
I know. I know. Anything else what else are you into before we get into I got to give you the questions.
Oh, yeah.
The question.
I don't know what I'm into. I'll tell you what I'm doing, though.
What are you doing?
Well, aside from, I'm writing a country record right now, so that's kind of fun. I'm working on music.
Exciting.
I am working on music, so that's
because
happening.
you're a Broadway girl, so you got the voice.
Thanks. Yeah,
but
I just love country music, and I grew up in Dallas until I went to New Jersey, and so it's in my blood, and I love telling stories, and there's no way you can tell stories in music the way you can in country music. So anyway, but the project that I am, the other thing that I'm doing is I started a broadsheet newspaper for women.
What?
So
what does that mean exactly?
Well, it's not a magazine; it's an actual newspaper. Like flip it open. It's a proper newspaper.
I love this. I love going back to the old school.
Yeah, but also because something about a magazine to me feels kind of precious and also like easy to ignore, and it's glossy and I'm just, I don't know about you guys, but like my life is a mess and it's raw and real, and I'm like in the dirt and I'm like up to my elbows in dishes, and if my septic tank goes, I'm jackhammering out in the yard. Like,
you do that?
Yeah, I have. So I just felt like I want something that's like a cool girl rag that you can like rip out a page or shove it. You can fold the thing up
on your
and
fingers.
Spill your coffee on it, shove it in the car door, open it in line for your coffee, compost it. Yeah, pass it again, wrap flowers in it and hand it to somebody. I don't know. So
that's awesome.
It's lifestyle. There are like theology and philosophy elements. It's everything from human interest stories to cocktail recipes to how to change the oil in your car.
How do people find this?
Well, it's called Modern Vintage, and we are doing our test run next week. So I'll send you guys copies so we can get some feedback from market research, and then we're going to be up and running. We're going to have this thing rolling out definitely by summer. It's all happening. We started in November, but now we're really steamrolling ahead.
That is so cool.
Fun.
Yeah, don't you think?
I do.
Really
I love it.
I think it would be
the
really
tactile
fun.
experience of reading anything. I always prefer like hardbound books and the smell of paper.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm not like I can't do a Kindle.
And the magazines always feel like there's so much to live up to. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
And it makes me
a lot of
feel bad
pressure.
about my life.
Well, and as a like environmental person, like the glossy pages just make me feel like I can't really recycle that, or I can't really like.
what are you
it
gonna
just
do
feels
with it?
too like What do you
So is this
I kept them for
monthly
years.
or
It's a monthly paper.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then what about the country music? What is the album called? Is it Bethany Joy Lenz?
It'll probably be Bethany Joy. I don't have a title yet. We're still putting songs together, but I've been having some fantastic writing sessions, and just slowly, we're just piecing it together. It'll be ready when it's ready.
All right, you have to tell us when and we'll announce it here that you're coming out with it.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
awesome. All right, so here's our season 5 questions. I think these are the same ones we gave my sister Emily.
hang on.
Is there a reboot that you liked better than the original of anything?
I really can't think of anything.
Show, movie, book.
There's got to be something that was like done maybe in the 50s or 60s that like a show that was,
I thought of one the other day that I was like, why has nobody remade this song? Mariah Carey, Hero. I think it was like 1991.
Because can anyone sing it better than her?
I don't know. It's not.
Maybe
I think
Adele?
it's not about singing it better,
Maybe.
but doing it differently. Because it is such a great song and lyrically still so relevant.
Yeah.
I heard it on the radio the other day and I was like, this is such a good song. And I feel like this era, like the early 90s, gets just kind of like, it's still out there. You still hear it.
I know, but people forget that it's almost.
But people aren't pulling from it.
It's about to be 30 years ago, right? So
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That scares me. Oh, my
40 years
gosh.
ago.
Is that
It's supposed to
true?
be-
No.
Well,
no.
30 years ago when it ended.
30
But
plus.
40 years ago when it started. Oh no.
What?
Am I wrong? Hold on. How old am I?
92, they're like 31.
Yeah.
So 31 years ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's wild. Wow.
But maybe like a show, or there was a.
Like, I really loved the first Wonder Woman movie a lot.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
we're, okay, I would say that. I liked
That's a
better
good
than
one.
the Linda Carter. I mean, that was a great show.
The show,
but
but
Yeah.
yeah, sure. I'll go with Wonder Woman.
Okay. Is there a cover of a song that you think is blasphemy that you don't think should be allowed to be covered?
If I hear one more person besides Jeff Buckley, do Hallelujah.
Oh,
You're just
fair.
never going to be as good as Jeff Buckley. Like, no version will ever. Leonard Cohen, if you're a purist, sure, like, go with the writer. But I also, the Jeff Buckley version is so beautiful, and I'm so tired of hearing
really
people
good
at
answer.
gigs play Hallelujah. It's just like, no, just stop.
Stop.
Everyone knows the song, and we don't want to hear it anymore.
What are you most proud of besides your daughter?
Oh, I was going to say my daughter.
Everyone always does. That's
You
why.
can say that. You can say that.
It 100% is.
Her, or the fact that you were like
Well, I'm
the way
proud
you
of
are as a
her.
mom.
No, I mean, I am proud of who I am as a mom. I mean, I'm not perfect, and I make mistakes all the time, but I find motherhood it comes naturally to me. So I enjoy it. But I'm mostly just proud of her. She's the one making the choices. Like, I could only do so much to set her up for
How old is she?
success. She's 12 now.
That's getting into this time when you gotta like let them fly a little.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what's intimidating is a room full of 12-year-old girls.
Oh, yeah. I already feel judged and haven't.
I don't know. I have to say, when I have 17-year-old, 18-year-old football players walking around my house, I'm like, who are these people?
Boys are different,
and
though.
why are they?
No,
what are all these
when
men
you-
doing in my house?
Last night I was at a basketball party. It was like a good happy season wrap on the basketball. I don't even know what you say. I'm not sporty.
Yeah, the end of the season.
And it's sure. And I went upstairs to this girl's bedroom. I was looking for Maria to say goodbye. Maria's my daughter. And I knocked on the door. Who is it? It's Joy. It's Maria's mom. And they're like, come in. I open the door. And it's a hot pink room with like a black light on.
Oh,
And
boy.
maybe some like neon signs on the wall. And there's all these
Revolution.
girls in there. I know, right? There's all these girls sitting in there. And they're just chit-chatting and hanging out. And Maria's like over in the corner. And I don't really notice it until I was halfway in the room. And she just looks up at me. And I was like, oh, I am a parent.
Walking
and
into
this
their
is
cool
her
space.
cool space. And I kind of always feel cool with her.
Yeah,
It was the first time I went, oh, I am intruding. I'm the non-cool person.
I've killed
here
the
right
vibe.
now. Yeah.
I know. I literally have to be like, do you guys really not like think I'm cool? Do you really not want like?
No, they don't.
I'm like, but your friends seem to like me, so they want me around.
Yeah.
and
No,
they're
they
like,
don't.
Mom, leave me alone. But like the kids, your own kids never want you around,
Yeah,
even if it seems like they're friends.
Totally. She was actually fine with it. She was like, oh, because I retreated. I walked halfway in the room and then I just went, I love you. I'll see you later, and just backed out. And I talked to her about it later, and she was like, no, you could have come in. It would have been fine. But I was, yeah. Anyway, but she's a great kid. She's smart. She's kind. And she treats people well, and she makes good
That's
choices
because
in
you
life.
like your kids.
So-
Because I almost divorced one of mine yesterday.
I do. I like her as a person.
Okay, if you could time travel, where would you go? You already said the 40s.
Yeah, 40s, post-war.
But like, post-war. Okay.
yeah.
I'm like, you don't want to be in wartime.
No.
I don't think so. No,
I mean,
it
who
was
does, really?
A very interesting time in history, post-war too. We could have a whole other podcast on that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do that. What's the best part of your job?
I learned so much. And again, with with my ADD, it's so great because there's a constant flow of I'm so curious, and there's a constant flow of information. And it's whether I'm learning about a character or learning about, there's always new things to learn about. Set behavior or communication with people. There's always different personalities that you've never encountered before.
New skills you've got to learn.
Skills.
Yeah.
And just stories. You're just sitting around talking with people. You talk to the grip and find out, where he's from and what college he went to.
So many
and what
stories to
it's
share.
just, you have so
screen and
much
all.
time to just sit around and hear and tell stories. And I just love the learning of that. Of it all.
I agree.
Awesome.
Okay, if you weren't doing what you're doing today, what would you be doing? So that was
I guess I'd be running a newspaper.
so you're doing it.
I guess so. No, I mean, yeah, I do all the things I love, but I did want to be a lawyer at one point when I was
Really?
a kid. Yeah, I wanted to be a criminal defense attorney.
Wow.
And then
That makes sense with your my
obsession.
your obsession with murder
I
mystery.
know. I was always like, they're wronged. Because every murder mystery
You
I
wanna
ever
solve
read,
the
there was
puzzle.
like somebody framed.
Wait, does
Yeah.
this mean are you like a puzzle person though? Do you like doing
Love puzzles.
jigsaws or any kind of puzzle?
Escape rooms, riddles, puzzles,
Really?
all of them.
Riddles,
Oh,
really?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
riddles
don't
I
let
have.
me loose over a puzzle table. You won't
So
hear
that
from
must
me.
mean I'm reading this book right now. This is the book I'm reading right now. In the car, I do a lot of audiobooks, and I'm doing one called Mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning, and it turns out my kids learned this in school apparently, but because I was like talking to my 10-year-old about do you think you're a growth mindset or a fixed mindset? He's like, oh, I'm totally growth mindset. I'm like, how do you know what that means? But I just learned about these mindsets, and like this book is really interesting because it really lays it out for you. And it's sort of, I think, what psychiatrists or psychologists use to look at too. They like, a lot of them recommend this book. But so fixed mindset is someone that thinks that they can't, nothing will, if someone's better than them, why even bother? Like just quit. Just like if you're not like that, that you're either born the best or you're not the best. And so you have to find the thing that makes you the best. But then growth mindset means like, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to go towards what, I'm just going to, figure out how I can be better or grow in some way. Right. So I didn't really know that there were sort of like two kinds of people in the world. So it was interesting to me to hear that, but I don't know why I just brought that up.
It's called Mindset.
Mindset.
Wow.
Yeah, and the audiobook, her voice is really annoying. I don't know who's reading it. Super hard to listen
That'll
to.
kill a book for me.
Instantly.
Even my son got in the car and goes, turn this off. I'm like, I can't. I really am enjoying the content, not the voice.
I couldn't get over that. I'd have to just go back and read it.
It's sort of like Siri reading it. It's very computer-like and high-pitched. It's not pleasant. Sorry, whoever read that. No offense.
No offense.
I just don't like your voice. What was the best advice you've ever been given, or your favorite advice to give?
Oh, I mean, a great practical piece of advice I was given when I was 18 and living on my own in New York and started working on a soap opera was get an American Express card and put everything on it, your coffee, your groceries, like your Metro card, and don't stop doing that. And pay it off every month, and the points you accrue will be very, very useful for you as life goes on. And that has proved to be true.
That's a good one. I like that. I do that.
Yeah, me too. I still do it. I'm trying to think of, I mean, life advice is just there's so many ways.
I know, there's so many. Give me a parenting one.
I mean, listening is really important, like really taking in what somebody else has to say and not just waiting to talk, which can be hard. She's having a nightmare, my dog. She's like running through a field.
She's running through to catch a squirrel.
Yeah.
You did yell squirrel earlier.
Squirrel. I know. I don't know. I guess there's too much. I mean, seek wisdom. Like truly seek
That's a growth
wisdom.
mindset.
And yes, and like the truth in any scenario is super valuable.
Yeah.
And not everybody wants to tell the truth or hear the truth. But I think it's important if you can be a person who seeks truth and seeks to tell it in a kind way, or at least be super honest with yourself.
That's
and
the
not
trick,
get
though.
distracted.
The
like,
kind
you should
way.
do that.
I think the kind way thing is like, that's something I'm trying to work on, especially with my kids and as they're getting older and teaching them that, right? To like, it's okay to be honest if you're nice about it.
Yeah.
That's what I always tell my kids. You can say anything you need to say in a respectful way.
Yeah, that's right.
As long as it's not like, so I feel like sometimes people are like, I'm just being honest, is also like, I'm just being an asshole.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
No, honesty is not cruel.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's a certain thing about like,
These chairs
I think
eat
you go
me every time.
are you sinking in?
I know, me too. I was thinking about how to read
The old saying, I think sometimes it's still true. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yeah.
I think that one can hold. But when honesty will, I mean, like to be able to give someone positive feedback could be, or negative feedback, but like something that'll
There's a
help them.
constructive and respectful way to say literally
Constructive.
anything.
That's a good word. Yeah. What is one thing you're looking forward to right now?
Oh gosh. Tomorrow. I'm always looking
Every
forward
day
to
just
tomorrow.
opening your eyes.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, there's plenty of mornings I open my eyes and I'm like, wow, we're doing this again. It's still going on.
I got to figure out 3 meals today.
Yeah,
I gotta figure out what I'm doing
mean,
with my day.
believe me, I have those days. But I still, you never know what's around any corner, and
You got exciting things happening.
always, yeah.
What is something you wish people knew about you? Because you can tell them right now.
Oh my gosh.
Even if you tried to tell them before, you can tell them.
I think I have felt misunderstood a lot in my life because I am neurodivergent and I don't have the same social cues that a lot of other people do. So I'm a good mimic. Like I can watch how people behave in social settings and then try and do that so that I don't. Sometimes I find myself doing that because I don't know what to do with myself, or I feel like if I'm just honest with who I am and how I'm feeling, it'll put other people off. I'm just painfully honest and really authentic and like dropped into my body, and I feel what I feel, but I recognize that then people will look at that and be like, oh, Joy's in a bad mood, or she's.
Oh, I just think you from Jersey. Like,
I love that. I love that about you.
You have a loud
I'm a New Yorker.
face.
I'm like, I get it.
Yeah, I think I
get
do.
told I have a loud face. Sometimes.
A loud face?
Like I just wear my heart on my sleeve.
Yeah.
And so and then I also over-explain, as I'm probably doing right now.
I do that too.
And so I just feel like, and especially in a work environment, I get misunderstood a lot. And people will think I'm passive-aggressive, or they'll think that I'm in a bad mood or whatever.
Like, this is like a Northeast thing. I love it.
Yeah, I thank you. So anyway, I think that's it. It's like I wish people understood a little bit more about how ADHD manifests, and that it's just we just function a little bit differently than everybody, and so sometimes it's just exhausting to mimic for a long time, and I just want to just relax and be myself. But when I do, I feel like I get misunderstood all the time. So there's a constant balance of.
So you're an introvert.
I'm a total introvert.
Interesting. Yeah. I just learned. I didn't know this, and you guys probably know this, but I'm a little behind on some of these neuro behaviors. But
well, it just feels so dishonest the way that people function. Like everybody's being so polite and nice to each other all the time. I'm like, you guys can't all be.
That's only because you moved to the South.
Respectful is fine, but
Joy, you moved to the
nobody's
South.
being honest.
Yeah,
it's
We just sugarcoat it. We're very
No, it's funny.
good at
That's
that.
funny that you say that. But I just learned that introvert. I didn't realize that introvert means you recharge alone.
Yes.
Whereas an extrovert recharges in a group. I didn't realize that it's the recharging where you recharge is what. Because I was like, well, I like being alone, but not much. I really prefer to be with people. And
So you're an extrovert?
yeah, well, I think so.
100%.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I think so. I always need people around me. I grew up with a big fan. Like I was the oldest of 8 kids, so I feel like if someone's not around to experience something with me, it's like it didn't even happen.
I'm an introverted extrovert. Mm-hmm. Like when I am with people, I am on and I love it. I absorb it. I can't get enough of it. And then as soon as the door closes behind me and I'm alone, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I need recovery time.
See, but that's the thing is I always thought I was sort of like that too. But then when I realized it's where you recharge, I was like, well, I think I recharge more in a group. So I think that
You do.
That's yeah. So I think
don't.
So then I think you're an introvert then.
Yeah, you're an
I'm not,
extroverted
though.
introvert.
Maybe. I guess.
Can
My
you be that?
mentality, I crave to be with people. I don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
I'm forced to be alone in order to fully recharge.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I don't know.
I wouldn't choose that for myself. I wouldn't choose to be alone ever. But it's necessary.
See, that's how I feel. Yeah. I mean, I definitely know I need it. I need yoga, but I hate it.
Ew.
I think I need it because I don't like it.
Remember
you
that
know?
time you forced me to go to hot yoga and I complained the whole time?
Oh, my husband made me go last week in the evening. And I hate working out in the evening. And he was like, we left there.
Listen,
He was like,
I'm
that was
only
awful.
going to yoga if some goats are crawling on my back. That's it.
Ew. What? I don't want to be pooped on by goats.
They're not going to poop on
course
you.
They're going to poop on
They
you.
don't know not to.
Yes, they do. They're
They
smarter
think
than
you're
you're
a
giving
rock.
credit
They
for.
don't know. No, they're going to poop on me. I know it. You guys, you don't understand.
like
I will
Puppy
be there
yoga
to
is
see that.
fun now, too.
Animals and me do not get along. Just saying.
You're
Except
missing
for
out on
Charlotte.
so
I do
much.
adore Charlotte. Charlotte seems to like me. No, animals don't like me. You don't understand. Someday I'll tell you my trauma.
It's
I told
just
you I hate
dolphins.
dolphins.
It's just
I hate
dolphins.
dolphins. They're awful. Don't even look at me like that. They're awful.
I know.
Okay.
You can't. I will.
Hey, no
I will argue
judgment.
this all
It
day
makes
long.
you question if she knows the Lord, doesn't it? I'm starting to wonder about your soul.
No, we'll talk about dolphins another day. And my relationship with animals. I just lost so many. They died. I had so many pets as a child, and they all died.
Most of her
So, not a
childhood
dolphin.
trauma is rooted
That's not
in
the-
animal
Not a
loss.
dolphin.
The
It's like,
dolphin
what
thing
the
comes
hell
from
kind of house
working.
did you grow
But she
up
didn't have a pet dolphin
No, we
That's another
filmed
story
a movie
for another day.
Sabrina Down Under in Australia in a tank full of dolphins, and they are not nice creatures, you guys. They're territorial. I think they're fantastic. I think they're smart. I think they're brilliant, but I don't want to be near them. And I don't think they want to be near me. I don't think they want me to pet them or make them jump, or they definitely don't want me to hold onto their fin while they pull me along the
think
water.
they can just
because
smell
they try
your
to drown
fear.
me and hurt me.
Someone
No,
like
they-
me who wants
I
to be
wasn't
with
afraid.
the dolphins.
Oh, I thought I wanted
They would
to,
embrace
though.
me.
Amanda, I thought I wanted to, and I gave them nothing but love, and they
Don't ruin
hated
this for me. She keeps trying to ruin otters for me.
I don't know why. This girl wants to go swim with otters, and I think they're gonna.
Dirty.
No, there's a
Yeah.
place in Texas where they put
bite?
you get in a hot tub and they put the otters in the hot tub and you can feed them little shrimps.
Did you not see the meme I saw or the video I sent you the other day?
dying to go.
I'm
awful.
so like, what do they have to do to these otters to get them to do that though? That's why I'm like, what is the training
I'm
process?
sure they raise the otters. The otters don't know any different.
Did you see the video I sent you
I'm
the
not
other day?
saying it's right, but I definitely want to experience.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I don't know.
sent you a DM of otters it was two gangs of otters in a fight. Did you not see? They literally go swimming down the river.
You're talking about
and they
otters
attack
in
like it's West Side Story. Yeah, they're fully. If they could snap, they were snapping.
It's
They
legit.
go at each other in the river. There's like 20 on this side, 20 on that side. They go swimming as fast as they can, charging at each other.
Not my
and then they
otters.
just attack. And I'm like,
Not Texas otters.
Oh, but you want to get? Oh, Texas otters are different. Okay.
Game of Thrones.
It is
style.
It's fully like
It is wild to watch.
clashing of
it is like a war on otters.
It was bad.
All
right, wait.
Don't think I'm not going to YouTube that as soon as we leave.
she can send you the
I'll
link.
find it for you. I'll find you the DM. Wait, hold on. I'm going to look it up right now so everybody at home can look it up too. I just am trying to keep you safe because I don't want your eyes clawed out, Amanda. Okay, that's all I want. I don't want
the otters want my
lose your
fish
face.
popsicles and tiny shrimps. Okay,
They yeah, and if you have those, they're definitely going to claw you. Like they're going to.
My daughter just
you.
found an old T-shirt of mine in a box. It says "Club Sandwiches, Not Seals."
because the baby seal thing, that was a big deal. It was Paul
She was
McCartney's
like, "What does this mean?"
wife. She was like kind of leading a whole thing about
Oh
it.
yeah, that's right. Was it? Yeah.
Early 2000s sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
can't
I think I had one of those
I didn't.
too.
I was like, do I explain this to her? Is she? I guess she's old enough for me to tell her now. It's so sad.
Wait, clashing otters? No. Oh, somebody sent me
It was probably
a
me.
dolphin. Oh, here it is. It's called I'm Just Culture is the website or the Instagram page. It's I'm Just Culture. I am JUSTCULTURE. And they have this rival otter clans fighting over territory in Singapore.
My God.
So I guess don't go swim with the otters in Singapore.
I'm
but-
going to Texas.
Look at this. Look at them going after each other. It's no joke. They are attacking. Right? It's fully Game of Thrones.
That's the perfect country music song. Don't go swimming with the otters in Singapore.
Don't go swim.
Go swimming with the otters in Texas.
I don't know if you could talk about Singapore in a country song. I feel like there's something that's not going to work with that. Like, I don't know.
Write a song for anything, I guess.
There it is. The
we've
inspiration
got to
you
check
didn't know you needed.
your phone. Because
Oh,
we need
for
to
what?
know, we're going to judge you with how many unread emails you have.
Oh, I bet
tell us
she's
with a little
Team
red-
Amanda because she's ADHD.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Unread
I believe her executive function
emails.
for being an actor is going to be pretty high.
Well, I use a different server mostly, other than my Apple Mail.
Okay.
But let's see what's in it. 103.
Oh,
she's
more
a
my-
medium. She's in
my
between.
people. Well, I have 88 right now.
Well, I have 18,450.
Yeah, she's insane. See? Now, does that make your ADHD brain want to explode?
But I have
my
a system. I have a system.
She's
I don't
lying.
miss an
She
email.
Clearly
have a
do
system.
not have a
She
system.
doesn't
No,
have
I
a system.
do. I do. I read the ones that are important, and then everything else just stays unread.
Just get rid of them then. Just delete every day. Delete
It's
what
such a
comes.
pain in the ass to delete. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, why should I have to?
And
You
I-
knocked on my door.
Well,
It's
sometimes
all
I
right
unsubscribe and then
Yeah, but
delete.
then it's like,
and then
why-
I
unsubscribe.
why do I
very
have to do
rarely
that?
miss an email.
Yeah.
They make
on
it very
top of it.
easy now. They put that little unsubscribe button on the top for most of them. You can just click that. It's done. You don't have to go to the website.
You know what else is really easy? Cleaning off the dining room table. Guess what's still dirty?
Not mine.
Doom piles. It's a thing.
Yes, but you have to have a doom pile
This is
room.
my doom
Do you know
pile
that Betty
in a
White in her
healthier
book
way.
said that her dining room table was like a disaster? I think she's like, I got to clean this off before I die because I don't want
People are
someone
gonna
else to have
think-
to do this.
Oh, that's so
Actually, my dining room table is not the dirty one. It's in my studio where I do like all my art and stuff like that. It's just a disaster.
So Amanda's going to ask you some this or that's.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay, we have to finish with our this or that's, and then you're going to leave a secret in the jar for the end of the season.
I got to think of a secret.
Yeah, you
I
can
don't
think-
keep secrets. I'm such a
I know. I'm the
open
same
book.
way. It's hard.
All right.
Okay.
You're a hard on the sleeve kind of girl.
I know.
There's only a few of these, so don't worry. Original or reboot of anything?
It's just this or that. Like, which one would you prefer?
I see. Original.
Musical theater or concerts?
Musical theater.
Action or adventure?
Aren't they one and the same? I would
Depends.
say adventure because there's going to be some action on an adventure. One
Super
way or the
Bowl
other.
or World Series?
Oh.
Not sports.
I don't know. 6 of one, half a dozen.
I'm with you. Carbs or sugar?
Carbs.
Aisle or window?
Aisle.
Really?
Absolutely.
Got to be able to get out
Yeah.
or use the bathroom. Which one?
Don't fence me in.
Yeah, see, I want the window.
Oh,
Put me in the
really?
corner.
I
Let me
want the
lean
window.
against the window.
No, I pee like every hour. I gotta go.
My
Let's
bladder's
bet that
like
you're that
steel.
hydrated though on an airplane.
Yes.
I am not. I'm very unhydrated, so I can sit in that corner all flight long, all red eye the
Well,
whole way.
Once I got trapped,
boxed in.
I was on a flight to Romania, and I was back in coach. So I was like deep in the bowels of this plane, and I was window seat next to 2 different people who I did not know, who did not speak the same language as each other or me. And we're like 4 hours in. The only saving grace to this, besides the fact that eventually I was just going to have to climb over them, was you could see the northern lights as we were flying, which was really cool. But I'm telling you, I've never had to pee so bad in my whole life. And so now I'm traumatized. I will pee 4 times before I get
on a plane, if you just look at the person next to you, they're going to get up because they know that that's the only reason.
It was an overnight flight. They were
then you just
out.
tap them.
Climb
it's like
over
this,
them or
tap.
tap.
I was a teenager. I was so scared.
Oh, you were a teenager.
Yeah, that
right.
makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
It's better than peeing your pants on a plane.
It was my first international flight. And I was like, I can handle this. No, I couldn't. I had to pee.
That sucks. I'm sorry. I wish teenage Melissa was there to be like, hey, bitches, move. My friend's got to pee.
Same thing.
I wish you were there too. Probably would have made that trip a lot better. Romania was a hard one. That is the country. Like, it's beautiful. Beautiful country. Great people. Really dark.
Oh, really?
It kind of feels like heavy.
It does. I like Romania too, but it's serious. They're very serious there. I mean, they've been through a lot. They just got out of communism like 30 years ago, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
they got Dracula too, so.
Oh, well, then that's the saving grace.
Transylvania, technically.
Oh, no, that's not good. Oh, that's dark.
Dracula's castle.
Oh, you don't like Dracula?
No, I'm not anti-Dracula. What?
So I'm confused.
What just happened?
I don't know. I think I got
is
accused
Dracula
of being
good or bad?
It's just a fact.
No, but do you like Dracula?
Oh,
like, because I know that you don't like gory, but would you consider like vampires and
sure,
like werewolves? Are those like in your?
I think I have an indifference to vampires.
So like Twilight's not
really? Come on, Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, Interview with a Vampire, so good.
I mean,
that's so good. Oh, are they redoing?
I love True Blood, so maybe I'm pro vampire. I think I'm pro vampire because I love True Blood. I loved
True Blood.
Twilight, Buffy, Twilight. I liked them all. Yeah,
all right.
I really like werewolves.
Yeah, I don't like the werewolves. I go with the vampires.
Werewolf books.
I like the skinny.
There's something
like,
I don't know.
Pale.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's obsessed with werewolf book. That's right. I forgot.
Obsessed is a strong word.
I forgot. Well, you were last year.
I enjoy a moment of werewolf.
You've gotten over that hump, which is good. Which is just like you pushing those people out and trying to go to the bathroom, like getting over that hump.
You live and you learn.
Humps. Thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you for having
Charlotte.
me. This is
thank
so
you, Charlotte,
fun.
for being here.
I know Charlotte was so good. She
so
managed.
good. She didn't even chew up the socks. They're just sitting there.
I know. What a good girl you are.
I thought you were going to put them on.
Go, girl.
All right, well, come back anytime. Come back when your paper's out and your album's out.
Yes.
And let's talk about it.
For sure. I would love that. This was fun. I love what you guys are doing. This is great.
Now, and we'll get to do coffee next time, I swear.
Yeah, for sure. Next time.